Greetings everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am your host Captain Rye, and today's YouTube videos got me back in my Scharnhorst. This battle is I found particularly interesting and humorous because you might have noticed there at the team's list that features a couple of people that I've played with before. That's right, Cathode and Raymu. This was purely by coincidence that we ended up on the same team, that even hit the battle button when they were in battle. So, kind of a cool situation. And of course, for them, the moment I pop up in chat is probably a good indication of the future outcome of this battle. The match mode is Domination on a map whose name I forget. I don't play this map very often. It doesn't show up very often at high tiers. I think tier 7 or tier 8's the maximum. And considering the number of other tier 7, tier 8, and tier 9 maps, this one just doesn't get into rotation very often. Which is a shame because I actually kind of like this map. I think it's got a lot of good hiding spots. Not as fond of it as I am of the North map, though. That's still my favorite. Initially, I thought I was going to go over to the C cap point, and then I decided, looking at the enemy situation over there, that I want to instead join my friends over at the A cap point. Definitely looks like where the bulk of our fleet is going, and I'm not feeling brave enough to get stuck in there all by myself, as of course you can see the limited support that the team on that side has. At this point, though, it doesn't look like the enemy is trying to capture B, which is pretty good, and also an indicator of where their destroyers are located. Taking shots out there at a couple of different ships in the distance, kinda trying to get the range on it right now. Hadn't played this ship in a few days, always a little bit rusty. But never fear, of course, it's me we're talking about. So, by the end of this battle, I'll be hitting all the marks. I hope. More shots out there. Enemy cruiser in the distance. Of course, he turns away slightly. I only managed to get one penetration on him, and don't do a lot of damage. Still sailing and pushing up here. Team has managed to secure the C cap point, which is surprising given the enemy force back over there. And my team is about to secure the A cap point. So I'm looking for options that I can go ahead and start taking, and maybe push up and provide some support for the ships that are over at C, who are doing a fantastic job. Given that the enemy is still not capturing B, and that my team over at A is going to come around this island, I decide that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start turning in and capture the B cap point. Speaking of one of the enemy destroyers, there is one right there. He's trying to make a suicide run on our friendly battleship. And, well, it was a suicide run. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't manage to sink our battleship, though he does a sizable amount of damage with his torpedoes. So, the enemy team is now down 2 ships to our none. They're down 2 caps, and they're still not capping B, which is good for me. It means I'm going to be able to get in here uncontested and start capping away. Enemy Cleveland over there giving me a broadside. Shots out, only manage a couple of over penetrations. That always seems to be the case when I'm shooting at Clevelands. It's very difficult to citadel these buggers unless you have those plunging fire arcs come down on them, and then they just disintegrate. Enemy York off in the distance. I'm trying to get shots on him, but he's kind of turning away, which is a little unfortunate. I do, however, have an enemy Fuso pushing up behind this island, and he is getting nice and close. I am detected, so I know he sees me. I've been shot at, so I'm sure he's going to see me, and I know as he comes around this island, his guns are going to be pointed in my direction. deflect more shots coming in there. I think those are from the Cleveland. I think he's firing armor piercing, which is a little awkward. I get a first set of torpedoes out there, but the Fuso's no fool. He does turn away. He's fully aware that the Scharnhorst has those torpedoes, and that they're 6-kilometer torpedoes. So he gets himself turned away, and as a result, those torpedoes gonna run out of steam before they hit him. However, he's giving me a nice broadside. Let's see if I can cause some serious damage to him. I do manage a reasonable chunk of damage, but of course I'm within secondary range now. And that means my secondary batteries are just going to sit there and start wailing on him. Been set on fire by a couple of different ships. Not too concerned about it. You might be wondering why I burned my damage repairability when I did, and the answer to that is simply because torpedoes. The torpedoes on that side were knocked out, and I wanted them back because I wanted to be able to finish the job with those torpedoes. Fuso, though, he's still sailing away, and he's incredibly low health. A little disappointed I don't actually manage to get the kill on him with secondaries, considering how much damage I had caused to him with my secondaries. Another enemy battleship up here, extremely low health. Don't manage to secure the kill on him either, as he's basically dead, and he's outside of my secondary battery range. They don't get their shots off in time to secure the kill. Still on fire, though, mostly due to this Cleveland, who is annoying me. Make a turn back. There's nothing back this way that I'm really concerned about citadeling me at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the opportunity to turn around. I managed to get a solid hit on that Cleveland from behind and knock out one of his guns. So hopefully that means that gun won't be setting me on fire for a while. As you can see, the rest of my team has now finally pushed down around the islands below A, and they're gonna join me, albeit a few kilometers behind. Enemy team finally manages to kill some of the defenders back over at C and secure that camp point. But nobody's camped B. I got a little sidetrack and pushed a little far forward, and out of the B cap I went. Still, though, did reasonable damage on that Fuso, among other ships, and I consider that a reasonable trade-off. Considering, at the time, enemy team still hadn't had a cap yet. So we are way up on the cap points in comparison to the enemy team, and of course we're up on ships as well. There is one of the two remaining enemy destroyers up there. The other one we'll see in a little bit. The destroyer disappears off of detectability. I don't know why he was detected in the first place. It's possible that my scout fighter spotted him. But he hasn't yet popped smoke. However, he is going to do that as I continue to push up. I know where he is, so I can make preparations. He has incredibly slow torpedoes, though. And as you see here, make just the slightest change in course and adjustment, and those torpedoes miss completely. Didn't take much. That is, of course, the problem with those lower tier American destroyers. Short-range torpedoes that are also very slow. There, the enemy destroyer has finally popped smokescreen, and of course, he's going to try and hide it. He's very low health, though. Try to get my guns on target as he pops it there for a split second. Not going to be the case. A little disappointed by that. Enemy Cleveland, though, still setting me on fire and causing me problems. This guy's probably farmed a good chunk of damage. Taking advantage of the enemy destroyer smokescreen now, there's nothing in line of sight. I'm behind the smokescreen, the destroyer can't see me. Even with the fire burning, I'm undetected. So, hopefully, the fire will put itself out, and I can be nice and content to just basically sit back behind the smokescreen and cause some problems. Enemy destroyer fires off another set of torpedoes, but spotter plane spotted them, flew over the top of them, so I'm going to go ahead and make a turn. This is one of the reasons why I say you should consider never firing a wide spread like that. Because if they're spotted early enough, look at that. Didn't even have to try to torpedo beats that. Slowed down a little bit, that was it. Looking at the situation, I know that Cleveland's still back there. I know there's a destroyer sitting in the smokescreen. I think it's just inside of my torpedo range, so I go ahead and I fire off a set of torpedoes. There's There's more torpedoes coming out there. Fire off shots at that Cleveland, and those are going to be the last shots I managed to fire off at that Cleveland as he disappears behind the island. Enemy battleship coming up there, and I'm actually targeting with my torpedo lead indicator that enemy Bayern because I really, really want to get the kill with torpedoes, and because he's within torpedo range. There we go, just about clearing the island. Fire off a set, he's just inside. Managed to hit that. York, don't kill him though. This is the only torpedo hit that I'm going to take in this whole battle, and I have my damage control ability ready to go. There's the enemy bastard who's been shooting at me. I'm going to go ahead and get shots off at him, finish him right away. And there's the second enemy destroyer, the Hatsuharu, who is full strength. Now I'm going to focus my secondary batteries on the Hatsuharu because he's closer. I managed to hit that Bayern for 2 torpedoes and cause flooding, which is fantastic. Killed the Hatsuharu with secondaries, and just before my shots reach that Bayern to finish him off, I kill him with flooding for a double strike. Looking at the situation, that Hatsuharu managed to get torpedoes off at me, which is a little surprising, but they are very, very slow. So I'm going to swing my ass out there and basically dodge those completely. Now it's just a matter of taking pot shots at the last remaining enemy ships. As you can see, we've got 2 caps and we're already in the 900s. So whoever manages to kill that Aoba up there is going to end the game. The Cleveland, he's still back behind that island, not going to... he's going to survive to the end of the battle, but he's not going to be an impact. End of the battle, not bad. 90,000 damage done, 450,000 credits earned. I don't think this was the first win of the day, but even if it was, that's still a reasonable amount of XP gain and free XP, though that doesn't matter because I've already got the Missouri. Double strike, close quarters expert, and Confederate. Not a bad battle. Top of the team for XP earned, no surprise there. My buddies up there, Reimu and Cathode, down towards the bottom of the team, but they did reasonably well there as well. So, you know, overall, just kind of a fun little battle that I found interesting and enjoyable. Especially getting a double strike with flooding and with secondary batteries on the Hatsuharu and the Bayern. Well, that worked out well. Anyway, that's it for today's video, folks. If you liked the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to get semi-regular channel news and updates, you can do so by visiting and liking and following me on Facebook. If you'd like to help support me and my channel, please do so by visiting my Patreon, supporting me there. If you've got a replay that you'd like me to feature, you can do so by emailing it to me, PMing me via YouTube, or messaging me on Facebook. And if you'd like to watch me play World of Warships or other games on live stream, you can do so by visiting my Twitch channel. You can find the links for all of those in the video description down below. And as always, I will see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.